Okay, we are live.
Alright, so again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And welcome here to our adventures in Ilhern. A little behind schedule, but yeah. It would not be us if it wasn't, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Where we last left off, the party has begun to work their way up on the mend. Those recently coming from beyond the veil, and those suffering more minute but disastrous injuries to their persons and mentalities begin to lick the wounds as stray dogs and take up residence here in Innsland. You all made reports to the Adventuring Guild, let them know what happened with the Dark God of the Mountain. Welcome. And yes, that is the moniker that I'm sticking with because that just made me so happy. Noted, Kodark. After that, you all had a pleasant meal at Grandma's before spreading out and heading back to your normal sets of rest, going about a few errands of the day. You were then acquired by various representatives of the Titan Fellers, a high-ranking adventuring organization from the Krenash region, who had come with the intent of slaying a dragon, but unfortunately they were a little too slow, and the beast was already felled by local adventurers. For those who remember way back when.
Yep.
It's been that long already. Yeesh.
Well, it's longer on this side of the screen than in game, so.
Yeah. Excuse me. As it stands right now, having given out the information to the commander of the Titan Fellers squad, you all have made your way back into Ensland, provided a carriage ride with a tidy sum of funds and payment for the what was considered valuable information to these individuals. And not so much valuable information to a certain jeweler, apparently. Just gonna stick that in the craw there a little. But other than a few personal doings in the late hours of the evening, you all find yourselves waking to a light sunrise as it breaches the horizon and cracks the light cracking through the windows of your various domiciles at the time of rest. Those who need it, go ahead and hit long rest.
Yay, one less on the death counter.
Yes,
Yay.
indeed.
Dun 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 dun. So not dead.
So Union,
Yes.
I presume that you go down for your standard typical breakfast.
Of course.
You will note Joe is still there, still at that corner table, still with his back to the wall, eyes on the door, positioning.
Is he stiff? Does he appear to be normal Joe thing? Has he
Rigor
been
mortis
turned
has
to
set
stone?
in.
Well, that's unfortunate. He looked at a basilisk. Okay.
Rigor mortis would mean he just died.
Yeah.
I'm aware what rigor mortis is.
Yeah, but you jumped a basilisk.
Well, I'm making a he got turned to stone joke.
But grandmother is currently sitting by the campfire there at the northern end of the room. with what looks to be a set of iron skillets doing the cooking here in the room as opposed to in the back kitchen. Both of you are greeted with the smell of sizzling ham, probably a side cut, the cracking of a couple of eggs, and right about now, the whistling of a kettle for hot water.
Okay. Union would go over to. Well, first he would be wearing the Riddler ring, and then he would go over to Joseph and say, "Good morning, Joseph."
Good morning, Union. Sleep well.
Reasonably.
Nothing kept you up all night?
No, certainly not. I would not want to sleep with Ridra in my head. No offense, Ridra.
Yes, that sounds accurate.
Well, look, I'm sorry you take offense. Sorry, Joseph. I'm being backseat headed.
Backseat headed.
I suggest we get some breakfast and then try to meet up with the others.
That sounds like a plan. I did need to speak to you about something.
Oh? What? No, go ahead.
I'd like to borrow the Ridra ring today.
You want to borrow the Riddler ring?
Yes.
Well,
I need to have a conversation with her. Constitution save. That's what I like to see.
Leave me
Nothing
alone.
to
I
see
don't have
here.
my okay?
Nothing to see here.
Mm-hmm.
well, Ridra, what do you think about going with Joseph for the day? I'm on call waiting. Hang on.
Oh, I whispered myself.
I'm on call waiting.
Hold on, I'm on hold.
She's busy ordering pizza.
Well, Joseph
Knock
and
off.
I hope you not take offense, but Ridra says she does not want to.
Well,
Unless you think it could be productive?
I mean, obviously she knows that me and her never saw eye to eye on anything. And that's one of the reasons why I need to talk to her, to make sure that I want to make sure that we have her best interest at heart.
Do you think I do not act in Ridra's best interest?
No, I think you do. Please don't take this as me trying to take you out of the conversation. It's more I need to bring her into it. Obviously she only hears what you tell her of my words, and I want to make sure that nothing is lost in the translation going either way. it was very clear that that ultimately the party has decided to hold off on bringing her back, but
Some have, yes.
mostly because they feel that it's too expensive, and we have to wait to occur quite the sum to accomplish that, and that's not out of the question. But in the short term, I have a few options that were made available, and I want to know if she, one, would want to risk this, and two, which of the options she would like to possibly consider.
Well, Union pauses for a moment. There is a man in town I wish to find and speak with. Ridra, you can be upset with me later. Joseph is not going to hurt you.
Are you talking about our friend that we
Visited previously? Yes.
visited previously? I was thinking more escorted a distance by caravan.
Out of character. What? Which one are you talking about? I don't quite remember that. The merchant that we took to Heim?
Yes.
Isn't he in
No, not
Heim?
the merchant. Not the merchant. Going farther back.
The elemental?
Yes. The guy who specializes in mechanical bodies.
Yes. Yeah, him. Yeah, definitely him.
Well, you guys were sleeping, so I kind of took the initiative.
You spoke with him?
Her.
Among others.
Her? Well,
If we go that way, her soul will be at great risk of being destroyed. But she would have her own mechanical contraption.
one second, Joseph. Ridra, I know. I hear you. That is very valid. But Joseph might have some answers, and he knows these things more than I do. I know you hear me. I don't trust him, but I trust him. Ridra, I would not let him hurt you, but I think you need to hear him so that he can explain what he knows better than I can convey it secondhand. Please, Ridra. Union says it just sounds like a swarm of angry bees in my head. She's going to haunt me if you destroy her soul, so please don't.
Well, in all fairness, that can't happen.
Union shakes his head and does the hand across the throat motion.
She can't hear me. She can only hear what you.
Union throws up his hands. Okay, Ridra, I'm going to hand you over to Joseph now. It will be all right. I think she's giving me the silent treatment. Oh, she says
Or
fine.
did you take the ring off?
No, you're right, Joseph. No. Like, Joseph holds up the ring like he slipped it off Unan's finger. That might be why. No. Okay. Ridra, it will be all right, and I'm going to take the ring off now and give it to Joseph. So Union will take off the ring and hand it, like, look Joe in the eye for a long moment, and then hand him the ring.
Yes. I will
Yelling,
take
I'm
this.
free! I'm free!
Yeah, I will take the ring with a slight smile, knowing that I now have to attune to this for the next hour.
All right. That
One ring to rule them all.
panning over.
Joseph is Sauron, confirmed.
I mean, things happen.
Mic on.
Joe doesn't strike me as the type of character to go Sauron.
But
yeah, he was way too like out there.
Hmm.
What I mean is like he really should have just been pulling the strings. Like, I mean, you don't let all your enemies know that you're around. You just.
I mean, when you live on Mount Doom, it's pretty hard to act like a neutral third party.
It's a good point.
Should have named it
Let
something else
everybody
then.
know. Yeah, just poor naming of your mountain.
So, Tempest, Arson, Sarah, Kotark. And y'all have anything explicit you would like to do during the morning hours?
I gotta go to school.
Sounds so enthused.
Well, I mean, I'm already here, so
I have no specific plans.
So, full on, I just want to rest.
Yeah. By the way, did we end up splitting the gold last night?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, I did the math at the start of session, so.
That's very, very math of you. Mount Friendship and Happiness. Not gonna lie, I'd be far more suspicious of that. Like, I don't know. So Tempest, your training begins here in just a few hours. Your mentor is actually not present at the moment.
Mic off.
are the training grounds open to students yet?
By about 7 in the morning, they start opening up, yeah. And you can see
When
a multitude of various types moving into the sparring grounds and the various training fields.
well, once they are open, Tempest will go in and look for sparring partners or simply to practice stances. Whatever she can really find.
Okay. It takes a little while. Basically, I've already been drenched in, air quote, drenched in sweat. Ha ha ha, water genasi joke. And as you begin to go, sort of, you're taking up this little corner there within one of the training fields, and begin working through more or less the exact same disciplines that you began at your halted attempt in the evening. You can't help but feel eyes on you.
Tempest is going to she's going to try to do her best to focus on on her studies, trying to perfect every single movement, swearing whenever she gets something the slightest bit wrong.
Give me a performance check. Performance. Let's see, your main attack would be intelligence.
I can tell you, we didn't do very good.
Let's see what you got on the die. 4? 4. It starts with your standard self-deprecation, self-loathing, or as you know you're not doing right. You're not doing. Yeah, your foot is off, and you can feel that the whole line from foot to knee to hip, everything is off balance, and you're just lacking the power behind what you want to do. Apart from you went and trained and trained and trained, and there's 2 sides of training, rest being one of them. But there's that nagging feeling, and you confirm as you twist, and you realize that there are some high-browed elves staring with utter disdain in your direction.
Am I used to this?
You don't really run into too many non-masterful blade singers, i.e., like trainees, who aren't elves, for one. And you can't really think of a time that your mentor made it a point to pair you with another blade singer, another fighter. No, not easy. You can't remember being paired with an actual blade singer that wasn't your mentor. And I will note, these guys are not bearing any markings of any association with Innsland, the Adventuring Guilds, or any of the organizations within this region. They are wearing what appears to, at first glance, be this sort of rich, vibrant green, almost this jungle green leather. But as you look closer, it is shaped metal that fits very well against their form and runs down to a pair of curved blades, not quite full scimitars, but similar in shape, a little thinner. And they're having a conversation, a very unhappy conversation. You don't speak Elven.
No, I don't. So Tempest says she's gonna do her best to sort of just ignore it, trying to see if there's another spot nearby that she can move to practice it. She doesn't really want to get into a fight today. She's not in the mood. Doesn't have her blade song available, so she's really not in the mood.
Okay, so you begin to leave the small cornfield that you've managed to secure more or less to yourself. And, you got like that one little monk over there doing her thing.
We like her. She's quiet.
Yeah, she's basically just here to watch other people. She's one of those weird gym bodies. Doesn't need to be here. But as you begin to leave and make your way, so the fields themselves are split with that path running up the middle, and you need to get to the path in order to work your way either up the hill or down the hill towards the school or back towards the city. And you make it to the path before 2 of the 3 that were having a conversation bar your way. And with no words in common, shove your shoulder and point back to where you were practicing.
Tempest is going to take a half step back glancing up at them, making eye contact before looking away, and just as calmly as she possibly can to say, "Please excuse me, I'm trying to go to my lessons."
They don't move.
She is going to try and sidestep to the left around.
Roll in athletics. You make it past them before you feel a bite in your calf. You look down, and there very quickly is a thin but evident streak of blood. One with his blade out points again to where you were practicing. Says something in Elvish.
Tempest is going to take a very, very long breath. Just, you need to let it go, Tempest. You need to let it go. Just deal with it. She's going to actually do what he motioned, because obviously there's an issue and there's a lot more of them than there are. And she's going to go back to the training field, standing where she was, crossing her arms, and just staring, clearly not happy.
The little monk lady kind of looks, seeing the tension, just gives you the friendly little like, bye. And the three of them step onto the field. The one who did not bar your path, you realize, has been sitting on the side field where they had started their conversation, and is just now finishing doffing the upper portion of his armor. There is a fine physique to him, as familiar to you whenever you see your mentor in a similar stance. Far less scars than your mentor. Pulls his hair back into a tight ponytail, sets down his blades, and just pulls out what looks to be a very plain, simple knife, and begins approaching you.
Oh, this isn't gonna be good, she whispers to herself, but
About 30 feet away, he stops and settles his weight. His intention's fairly clear. He says something in an inquisitive, condescending, but inquisitive fashion. Like, the tone implies there is a question there. But again, I don't speak Elvish.
Tempest is just gonna shrug her shoulders and just say first in common, second in the other language she knows, which is primordial, and just be like, "I don't know what you are saying."
As you throw out the words, he takes the opportunity to engage. Roll for initiative. And in the panic and fatigue of your evening, now into a soured morning, oddly, the guy who's fresh and ready to go and fueled by what appears to be some layer or level of animosity or displeasure, closes the distance and begins to assail you, beginning with a booming blade.
Ow. I can do that too, asshole.
Manages to nick you on your shoulder, seeming to draw the knife closer to his wrist. So it's a lesser blow, almost insulting. as you take 1 point of damage, piercing, and then 7 thunder.
All right.
It's your turn.
Tempest is going to quickly cast Sword Burst, as her whip was not actually drawn originally.
As you begin to channel the energies, he, with that same daggered hand, butts and smacks where your wrist begins the somatic portion of the components. Actually, no, there's no verbal. Apparently, you just yell swords at people, guys.
Ree!
Like, I'm not gonna lie, this whole time in my head, for all the characters
Wait,
I have with the spell, I'm fairly sure there was a somatic component, but is there not?
No, I just say shling shling, motherfucker.
Well, he punches you in the throat and it stops.
Thanks.
Um, which does no damage. That was him very aggressively passing his save.
I can tell.
Is that it?
We really don't have that much right now. So yeah, that's that that's a bonus action, isn't it? But I don't have the
Sword
spell
burst?
slot.
No.
No, that's an action. No, I was talking about Dragon's Breath, but I don't really have
You
this.
have to cast. You have to cast a spell
Yeah.
slot first, and then it's bonus action after.
Yeah.
Or the
I
other way
also
around.
don't.
One of those two.
I kind of have that spell slot, but not. I don't want to use it because I may not have many.
Well, he will continue his advance and begin laying in. With one more solid hit, he then follows up the blade, catching into your clavicle. He hooks it under, striking you with the pommel. Again, the tonality of whatever phrasing he is using, attempting to add more insult than actual injury, as you take 1 point of bludgeoning damage from the pommel strike, and he begins to attempt to trip you. So I need either an athletics or acrobatics from you, please.
We are tired today, okay?
So up the pommel of his knife, right under your clavicle, sending your spine to straighten up and tense the rest of your body. Right as he steps behind, hooks your
Mic
knee,
off.
and basically flips the world from under you, and sends you falling onto the ground. His look of disgust is only getting worse.
Tempest just gonna land with a not a happy expression, just biting, grinding her teeth is to try and not show that, she's pissed off. She knows she's not performing anywhere near what she should. But yeah. Yep.
It's your turn.
It's an action to stand, isn't it?
No, it's half of your movement, unless you have the
Okay,
athlete feat.
I do not. But so we're going to stand up and then Yeah, we're just gonna go with a booming blade at him. So let's cast the booming blade, and then it's the whip, correct? Yeah.
Yep.
And is the booming blade takes the spot of the second attack, if I'm correct.
And it's not so much that it takes a second spot. It's you're not making the attack action, so you don't
Yeah.
get extra attack.
Yep.
But you do hit. And as you cast a spell, he will counterstrike with Mage Slayer.
He had to be.
Well, yeah.
It's really smart, but he had to be.
So this time he actually does punch you in the throat in response to you casting a spell on him for 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right. But did the spell go off out of curiosity?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I am decently certain.
Mic on.
I don't think that cancels anything.
Yeah, that would be a even bigger reason to take it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's... Yep, you're good. It went off
I honestly don't know why I don't have it.
because we don't have enough feats.
Oh yeah.
All right. It's now that you've actually whipped him. He's not as disgusted in that, but it's just a soft shift into less disgust and a little more anger.
I'm not gonna make him happy, so
I know.
I mean,
I'm aware. He will slip into his own
Mic off.
blade song. I'm waiting on dice rolls to actually roll. With a 26 to hit
ow.
on the first attack, he finally rolls a not 1 on his dagger.
I'm
Very
liking
important,
that
guys.
though.
Rolls 3, so total of 5 from that attack, and then a 22 to hit for another 4 piercing damage.
Mm-hmm.
Tag, you're it.
I hope he said that in fucking Elven. Everything in me wishes he said that.
Oh, he's saying much worse, I assure you.
I would assume. Ba-ba-ba-ba. We're just gonna do two good old fashioned whip. Cause I can't go into blade song.
The 18 hits. It's almost like he took his armor off.
Listen, I'm very happy he did, okay?
Anything else?
We don't got much more. Then this is what we're dealing with right now.
Okay.
Tag, he's it.
I mean, I don't know if you're going to attempt to, like, run away. You know, I don't know.
She's not in that mood right now. If anything, she's gonna learn from this situation. If she remembers it the next morning.
Alright, well, I need a athletics or acrobatics to attempt to evade a grapple.
We're waking up.
You are, but you weren't fast enough.
It's okay, we're waking up still.
As his hand slides up your throat, catches you under the jaw before pinning you against him and pulling the knife with a nice, good old stabby McStab motion for 2 more piercing damage.
Ow, dude. I realize I should update my character sheet for you. Alrighty.
What you got?
Hmm?
What you got?
I am looking for it. But I need to see. Am I able to speak at all?
You currently can speak, yes. He's not crushing your windpipe yet.
Behind him, 10 feet.
Con save.
And it does say teleport, so I'm
Yeah,
I'm
it breaks
thinking.
grapples.
Okay, good.
It's one of the uses. As he shrugs off the majority of your spell, he simply closes the hand where your throat was, implying, again, what was about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Before simply turning and throwing the knife at you.
I'm gonna react to that with the shield.
Okay, so it's a 23 to hit. That shield brings you up to, I believe, 20.
Looking at it, a +5 bonus to AC.
Yep. Which I'm seeing 15, so that brings you to 20
Yep.
for 5 piercing, followed by the ever so graceful just charges the 10 feet at you and goes with a attempt to basically just armbar you.
Ow!
26 to hit for 3 bludgeoning.
That fucking hurt.
Well, he's being nice.
I know, but still. It's insulting.
Meanwhile, we will pan briefly away. Arson!
Mic on.
Hi.
Tempest never came home last night. Like, at all.
I'm passed the fuck out.
Ah, they didn't even wake up to know she was gone.
Pretty much. Being
Wow.
dead and all that.
Okay. Panning the
good.
camera again. Cotard! What's he up to?
I have no idea.
What? You need to have some kind of idea.
No, I lost them all.
Did you put out flyers?
The paper fell in the water.
Hmm.
You of all people should know to get waterproof paper.
No.
Oh,
Smash cut to like Kotark weeping as he tries to write a letter, but it just turns into pulp every time.
Just starts training messenger fish.
Mic
Like
off.
pigeons, but fishy. Started with a goldfish. That was the mistake. Anyhow, okay, I guess we pan our way back. Tag, you're it.
well. We are going to. So he armbarred the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
Actually, can I do this?
I don't know until you try.
Hold on.
Rocks fall.
Is there water near me?
There's not.
Shit, damn it, that would have been really good. Did I already use... Bonus action, I'm going to use second wind. So 1d10 plus 1. Where's my dice? 1d10 plus 1. 10! Cool!
All right. That'll
And
help.
that was bonus action. Wait, hold on. I did that wrong. There we go. Okay, that's that. And then this is 39. Okay. Armbarred me. There's no water near me, so I can't do that. We are going to cast Blur on ourselves, which is an action. And then that is, yeah, that's all I can do right now. That's all I can.
Okay. Well, I need a dexterity save from you as he straightens up his hand, places it right at your chest, about where the dagger is sticking. Pulls the dagger with that hand, and in that same fluid motion, burning hands.
Ow.
For a total of 19 fire damage.
Oh.
That's his turn.
I'm so glad I used what I used.
You'd still be up. You're fine.
I'm still glad. Am I grappled?
No,
Okay.
you just took a bunch of fire to the face.
Okay. Can't use that. Can't use that. I'm just gonna go with 2 whips again, because that seems like the best thing I can do right now.
They miss.
Yeah. It's like all I got.
Okay.
Tag. Yep, tag.
All right. I now need a wisdom save as that same hand moves almost as if pulling a net down over you. As you go with that reflexive to pull your wrist back for the next whip strike, it freezes.
Fuck.
That's when you hear a familiar voice with a familiar language that you may be kicking yourself for not studying.
A little bit.
And from over the man's shoulder in your frozen position, you can see your mentor entering the field. Less than pleased.
A little, oh, thank God it's him. Oh, dear crap, it's him. Not whispering it, because I'm pretty sure I can't move right now.
Well, in 6 seconds, you'll be able to attempt your save again.
Woo!
They turn and begin having a conversation with each other. You will note that the two that were sort of guarding that particular training field merely stepped aside. It's not like he came and beat them up and is marching his way in. But you also note that it's more you he's looking at when he's saying a few things that just don't feel good. Welcome back, Sarah.
Missed my ass being kicked.
You may make the attempt to save again.
Alright.
They continue their conversation.
Cool. How bad does it look?
You'll note that the two of them seem to be reaching some sort of agreement.
Do I look like I'm about to get in a lot of trouble?
I mean, don't you always?
Yes. But is this like a more than usual amount of trouble?
With your passive 10 insight, you have no idea what the fuck is going on.
Cool.
Other than he's not happy, he's not happy. I think they were cut. Nope, they're not happy. And wisdom save?
But
Nope. At this point, you can't even close your eyes to just not witness what is going on.
the gods have struck me down and are making me suffer for something I do not know what.
Who says there's anything to do with suffering going on?
It feels like suffering. He's mad. He's mad. Well, yeah, no, they're mad. I'm about to get in a lot of trouble, I think. This is suffering.
Well, eventually, the spell does fade. Your arm, for the record, is still cocked in that ready to whip position. His back is to you.
We're not gonna get in more trouble. We're not gonna do it. Mm-mm.
Okay.
No matter how much we want to, we're not. We're just gonna slowly lower the whip. Not putting it away, just lower it, and just we're practically just gonna stand still, looking kind of down at our feet, but kind of watching everywhere at the same.
Um, what would potentially be a familiar motion. Your mentor makes a gesture with that sort of authoritative command of "Go rest. You're done."
I'm assuming that means go home. So she's just gonna nod, give her mentor a back, mutter an apology for what she doesn't know, not looking at the other elves, and just try to leave. She doesn't quite want to head towards home. She sort of just wants to stay near the school.
Duly noted. That brings us to Union. Having parted ways with Ridra for the time being, the Ridra ring specifically,
Yes.
where do you make your way?
Well, I was gonna go and try and find the guy, but Joseph took care of that for me.
Girl.
Girl, yes.
Craig. I'm assuming you guys are talking about Kreia.
Yes.
Okay.
I couldn't remember the name.
What is with union and like misgendering people?
I think I actually said guy
Yeah.
because I was out of character. I was thinking of the other person I talked to that night.
It's union's fault.
It's all his fault.
Union.
You'll redeem yourself one day, Union. I believe.
Union would head to the Temple of Thandar.
Okay. You step into the temple to find that it is as expectedly busy as it ever is, particularly early in the morn. Many of those who see Lathandar as their patron specifically for adventuring here in a city of adventurers, paying their lip service and some their proper respects. Trying to ensure safe travels and the like, as well as the many acolytes and priests of various other deities. Going basically your standard going throughout the motions of the morning, getting things together.
Okay. Union. Union would are there like pews?
There are sitting areas near the various. Because again, this temple that you've been frequenting is not dedicated solely to one or another. So you have
Right.
small like areas of prayer for the various deities. So there you can find yourself a seat. That particular section being a little crowded due to again guided entering.
Union would go over and sort of take a seat, close his eyes, and start praying rather aggressively. to
Aggressive prayers. Okay.
Yeah, like yeah, the sort of trying to talk to Lathandar and really just wanting to know that that his path of redemption is working, that that he's turned away from who he was and that he's trying to do good things, but it's not working out, and he wants some answers. God damn it!
Is that the tone you're approaching with? You
I
did
mean,
say aggressive.
and not quite so like, hey, big guy, what the fuck's going on? I'm adventuring here, but it definitely more of a like, I've pledged my sword. I've tried to be good, but nothing is happening. Definitely a more sort of aggravated, um, and distressed Union than normal.
Okay. Roll a religion check for me, please.
All right.
So this is normally the part where I'd kick everyone out and only the audience would get to see, but we all share our stories here. Most of the time. The last thing you see within the church is the slew of others in similar vein, eyes skyward, casting in question, and you can hear the layers upon layers of half whispered or loudly proclaimed prayers. Beside you sits a little man, plain, face may have taken a punch or two in his younger years. Nose is a little askew, oily, slick black hair. And you find yourself able to pick up these little details here, there, and every little detail you pick up, everything around them gets fuzzier. The focus begins to fade. And then, almost as if someone blew the candle out, you find yourself again that familiar darkness, unable to see. You can hear what sounds as hammer on metal. That steady rhythm, dong, dong, dong. You can feel almost such an intense heat that it draws the heat from you, this coldness filling your body. Again, dong, dong. About 20 feet in front of you, a light begins to appear. Small at first, broadening, and brightening. And there you see The little man with the slicked black hair, the youthfully busted nose. He's not looking so well.
You? What?
Speak. Go ahead.
What are you? Union's very confused.
He's raises an arm and points. That oh so standard like horror movie point at you. And you see his eyes beginning to bulge, his free hand clawing at his neck.
Union will quickly run over or approach, and sort of kneel by him, trying to see if there's something around his neck.
About 10 feet away, another light just behind him, in the same fashion, this a little more hastened, reveals Shaitan. Hand wrapped about the man's throat. A look of ecstasy as you hear what for you is a familiar snap.
Union is just sort of frozen in place, watching in horror as he, the person he was, breaks this man's neck.
Both lights fade. Your eyes flutter open, and you see beside you the little man with his slick black hair. You realize the face is a little different. Yeah, the nose is busted, but it was bent the other way. As you steady your breath, and every time you blink to start trying to clear the thought, you can see that face among countless other faces. Just another man, just another body, just another drop of your redemption to be earned.
Shaken, Union will hastily get up and depart the temple, just sort of brusquely pushing people aside in his haste to leave.
The man next to you, of course, a nice man, does attempt to stop and ask if everything's okay as you run away. And as you push out and leaning against the wall again, catching your breath, you can hear the flapping, distant flapping, and then what sounds like a chittering whistle from the alley just around the temple.
Slowly, still catching his breath, Union will turn and look in the direction of where the whistle came.
Where we pan the camera away from you as you step in to the alley, there's an imp smiling at you. Mr. Trenta. It's been a busy day.
Has it?
He's managed to acquire a ring bound to the soul of Ridra. Had a wonderful breakfast.
It was
And
quite good.
made your way through the city on your various errands. Is there anything particular you will be doing as the hours close just about noon or so?
Noon or so. To be clear, the only sense that Ridra has while I'm wearing the ring is that she can hear me talk to her, and I can hear her.
Correct.
So she has no idea what I'm actually doing while this conversation between us
Correct.
is going on.
She has no external awareness.
Okay. Well, I'm assuming right about now in this conversation, I'm probably going to be arriving at the gentleman's place from last night. I believe
You know the
we
way.
will refer to him as Mr. M from now on. And I shall knock on the door. Not putting on any type of hood or anything like the night before. Because I mean, I have no reason to not be eating this guy.
You go through the Mr. Mister.
Mr.
Hey, that's a really catchy song, right? But you go through the entire process, I assume.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm sure all the checks and balances will be taken care of. Although out of character, now they make more sense knowing what I know now. But upon arriving at the at Mr. M, I will like to inform you that I believe we're going to be progressing with the option we discussed last night. What type of cost do you feel would get this process started?
Without turning to you, the tall figures. Ah, Mr. Trenta. Welcome back. That was far sooner than I was expecting, to be honest. Then your fellows have agreed?
The important one has agreed to progress farther. For now, until we know for sure that this is an option that's going to work, as we discussed last night, I mean it's experimental at best.
Yes, it certainly is.
But it is something. I mean, something I'm definitely interested in. The possibilities of.
Well, why don't we take a seat and talk business then?
Sounds good.
Pulls
Maybe
you over to
something
one of
to
the.
drink.
I wouldn't tempt me, Mrs. Trenta.
Oh, that's all right. I brought my own. I pull out my I pull the grinder out of the.
Every time I see that picture of the giant fucking
Yes.
grinder.
Pull-
What have I done?
It helps me think. Literally.
He waits patiently while you go through.
Yes.
And it's basically once you get past the grinding stage and the
Oh, yeah, of
confidence
course.
that there is, I accept a handful of forms of payment, but that is for repetitive doings, applications of spells, layering of enchantments, disenchantments. You know the drill. As I can see a practitioner in you of some sort. But there are a few ingredients I will not be able to procure here in our fair Insulin markets.
So. Ignore.
He blinks.
That wasn't out loud. That was in my head.
Okay. Ah.
I just didn't. Unlike Union, I know that I don't have to say this stuff out loud.
Look at me, I'm educated.
and as far as I'm concerned, he never will.
All the better, right?
Yes. Yes, these other ingredients. I thought there might be.
You are with a group of capable fellows, yes? Barring, he gestures at the ring, incidents.
I know some adventurers, yes.
Do you happen to have anyone who specializes in the gathering of herbs, perchance? Test, test.
Possibly.
Okay. Like, whoever's even clicking in the background, everyone just got quiet, like, oh shit, don't volunteer me.
No, I think I might. We've had some recent replacements and additions. I'm not fully aware of everyone's capabilities, but I do know a couple people who you might say have green thumbs.
I'm not gonna lie, I had to do a quick scan of the Genasi pictures, like, maybe in the sunlight.
Kind of green-ish. Maybe an algae, yeah.
Wonderful. Then we can proceed with acquisitions of ingredients required. Are you familiar with the coastal city of Openmuffin?
Open muffin.
Or look, bro, random names, right?
I know.
Otherwise, the city along the way, Roar.
Roar. That sounds familiar. Yeah, I know.
Where's
There,
Open
there is one right there on the coast.
Yeah.
Oh.
Open
Muffin.
muffin is just right over there, but
Open Muffin. Okay.
It's often muffin, but the river closed it off. Right when I went to read it, I'm like, shit, just shit. But anyhow, there is a glade potentially inhabited by former kin. That will be where the most key of ingredients might be found. Otherwise, it's a trip beyond the Fey Veil, and I would not wish that on anyone to do so willingly.
Okay. They
Well,
have the ingredients, or are
the
the ingredients?
he smiles. I suppose that could work. No, no. I walk a thin enough line here with the legalities of research within Insland to jeopardize it. As tempting as that is. But no. Within the burial grove grows a very special herb. How you acquire it, I do not care. But without it, I fear the modifications to the spell would become a price so astronomical that we would bankrupt several regions to attempt it.
Well, that's not good.
I'm not sure what they would call it in your commons trade tongue. And here's where your DM goes, look guys, I didn't make an Elven translation for this really fancy fucking basically corpse flower, but insert Elven corpse flower here. There you go.
Okay. I think we can probably procure that.
Now, several pounds of it would be a prize, but at least half a pound would be required for a decent shot at your attempt here. And as stated, this ingredient alone gravely reduces the cost of other ingredients and thus the cost of your order. Thank you, Raedra. So, do you wish to proceed assuming you will be at least able to procure the bare minimum, half pound? Or would you like to know the cost of modifying the arcane with otherwise relatively mundane but expensive items?
Would like to know what the cost is, but I'm pretty sure we can procure your corpse
Within
flower.
reason, I would average 20,000 gold pieces at the low minimum.
Okay.
For the enchantment. That's before the cost of whatever vessel we apply it to.
Yes.
With this, you're very quickly halving the cost, should things go well.
Okay.
Noted, Tempest.
I think we should definitely continue on this this experiment.
Wonderful.
Um,
Now, between you and I, he gestures at the ring, I do accept payment in other forms, such as the form used to pay your entry within my laboratory.
How did I know that was a form of currency? Um,
I don't get out much.
right.
But I only accept from willing donors.
Okay. We might look into that. As for the vessel, obviously, as discussed, you won't be handling that. But what sorts of material could we use? Is it pretty much open to?
Personally, I would advise at least the core of the structure having some degree of silver, being a very receptive material.
Right. I guess what I'm asking is, would it have to be mechanical? Could we possibly go with a more biological?
Perks a brow. This is delving a little closer to full necromancy than I have in some
Oh,
decades.
no, nobody's throwing out the N word here.
God damn it, Skorgan.
Oh, no.
Ah, he looks confused. Like, why is this a bother?
Hmm.
I'm not opposed to the idea.
I was thinking more like golemancy, but yes.
The issue with biologicals, and has been an issue as I have been taking steps to avoid, is they rot. And once they rot, they are no good. Once they are no
Okay.
good, they need replacement. And with every replacement at that point, it gets only worse and worse.
Then we'll continue down that. I mean, that's the nice thing about mechanicals is they
Choose your
they're
right materials, and they last lifetimes. Think of all the pursuits your little friend can get up to.
yes. Um. Think nothing else currently. Think we'll start with a bit of a down payment, as you might say, assuming we're going to be. I'm assuming that we're going to be able to procure the corpse flower. But as far as the continued research while we're doing so, would 1,000 gold help to get things started?
With what I already have on hand, plus a down payment, yes, I would very much be capable of beginning. The breakdown of the arcane.
Well, being that I haven't spoken to the rest of the party about this project, it wouldn't feel right giving you our party's funds, but I do have access to some personal.
How
I will
generous of you.
procure him 100 platinum pieces.
Wonderful.
Now, as far as the corpse flowers, is there anything special I need to know about handling them?
I would very strongly advise you do not let the thorns prick you. And I will also note that, barring extraordinary diplomatic feats, getting to the appropriate grove where they are found, and he does give you a physical description of the flower themselves, may be an amusement of itself. If you wish and manage to procure enough time to do so, the vines upon which they grow themselves are useful, not for the purposes at hand, but if you're there.
Okay.
Beyond that, please don't crush them. Basically, if they can arrive here as fresh as possible, that would be ideal.
As fresh as possible. They grow in corpses?
Among other things.
No, Ideal is dead. Is he?
Ideally.
I mean, all we found was a headless body.
Oh, if there's nothing else, I do have one more project to finish up before I can devote wholly my attention to your request.
Okay.
But I must say I am most eager.
Yes.
Mic on.
I assume you'll be speaking with our
Mic
mutual
off.
friend to send her my most beloved regards and delight.
Yes. I plan on stopping by to talk to her shortly. Let her know what she can start building.
Wonderful. And he turns pretty much right to the table where he's at and begins working on some compound or other.
Excellent. Same procedure to get out as last night.
That would be appreciated.
Yes. Definitely going to need to rest tonight. By rest, I mean extra coffee. But yes, I will take care of the exiting rituals. And I guess I'm going to go have to have a talk with our engineer friend. Now, as I'm walking, I don't mind people kind of hearing this, but you probably only got part of that conversation, Ridra. But let me just say, everything is going exactly like we talked about. There is going to be some additional costs. Now, you don't have to trust me, as we discussed. All you need is to be willing at this point. And I assure you, by the end, you will see that I had your soul in what's the word I'm looking for? Your soul's interest at heart. Yes, but don't worry. The next person that we're going to meet, I'm sure, when you get that half of the conversation, you'll be much more excited.
Okay. To the warehouse then.
Yes, to the warehouse.
Now I will pan out to the rest of the characters. Begin with Kotark. Are you still hanging where you were?
I legitimately have nothing going on in my head.
But I asked a question.
Yes? No? I don't know.
Okay. As you find yourself resting there under one of the docks for the early, now past the half of the day, changing the bindings on your hands as best you can, you catch out of your periphery what looks to be a handful of urchins in a dead sprint from one of the guards. Seeming to not notice that that is your current place of rest, the smallest of the bunch comes diving and pretty much kicks dead into your chest. You're welcome to attempt a reflex or dexterity save to avoid it, as they come diving into their little hidey hole that you have taken up residence. Okay. Fortunately, dodging a small child that you saw coming. Keywords there, as you saw coming. Because boy, if you don't see him coming, shit, that hurts. You sidestep, and this small, probably 3 foot, maybe 2, little girl immediately ducks under the pier and sort of tucks under one of the pillars. Seemed to have still not even noticed that you were there, floating whimsically. Beginning to laugh the giddy, childish laughter, sort of digging through a small pouch. And noticed her.
Got yourself into some trouble there?
The kid kid screams. I'm not going to scream, not because I care for not waking up my roomies, but more because I care about you all. But it is this intense, panicked, begins to or immediately try and like head on a swivel, try and figure a way to get away from where the voice came from, before finally turn and lock eyes with you. And the sounds of terror become sounds of childish confusion. I ain't did no trouble.
And you were just playing a game of tag with the guards.
Lucy did it. For the record, there was like that pause. There was literally like looking side to side, like the child's brain trying to formulate a lie, and just decides to throw Lucy under the bus. Rip Lucy.
I don't think Lucy deserved that.
Kid looks at you, no idea what you mean by that. And it's kind of doing that slowly scooting out of the little hole. Attempting to hide the pouch behind her back, as if you hadn't already seen it.
I won't tell if you just keep quiet.
That sounded ominous. But with the words of "I won't tell," she just bolts. And you see her promptly run from straight into a guard. Do you do anything about it?
No.
All right. So you watch as the child is taken away. And we pan over to Union and the imp. Hi there. Is Union AFK?
Mic on.
He's muted.
I'm back. Sorry, I didn't know you were away on me.
I wasn't aware you had stepped away. But yes, hi there. Hey there, Shaitan.
This is the imp?
Yes.
Yes.
Ah. What? What?
Easy there. I'm just a messenger. But might I say, it's a delight. I've seen your work.
You know nothing of me. What message do you bring?
He seems a little saddened by your tone. hides a little autograph book he had.
Oh, goddamn! Don't make me feel bad for the goddamn imps. Fine, give it here, but don't say anything about it.
Yeah. Let's see that signature.
He signs it Union and underlines it like 20 times.
Immediately just burns his book. It's ruined. He had one from Asmodeus in there, man. You see what you did?
Well, yeah, truly, there's no hope for redemption now.
Yep. Not Asmodeus. Asmodeus. The musician. You were going to be in such great company. But anyhow. Fine. Right a bit. Yeah. Looking a little worn there. Maybe a little stint in church, not doing so well. As he proffers forward a scroll case of what you could only hope is just normal leather, but you know better.
Okay, I'm back. So Grimace saying Union will take the case.
With about as imposing, this is with air quotes, strength that the imp possesses, he makes a point to lock eyes with you and holds the case for about a moment longer. He insists this be done. Quick. Quick. Post haste. Flies away.
I've never seen an imp with a stutter before.
A firebolt hits by your feet.
Rat bastards. No
Mic
better
off.
than seagulls.
He flies back to poop on you.
No.
No, please, no, God. Sorry.
Okay. So making sure that no one is looking, Union will open the scroll case.
You do not see a means of opening it at the moment.
Is it just like to Union's eyes, a completely
It is
sealed
what you
cylindrical tube?
wrapped in what, again, you can only hope is just normal leather.
But there's no like latch or seam or anything.
Correct. You flip it to one end to twist it. It doesn't budge. I'm thinking, okay, maybe that's the sealed end. Flip it over. Go to twist it. Nothing.
Is it? What color is it?
It is a aptly told meaty red.
Okay. Clearly, dark. We'll share. Okay. Making sure that no one is around. Union is going to pull his dagger from his belt, prick his thumb, and let the blood well up and run it along the scroll case.
Okay. As you run from one end to the other, about halfway down, you begin to see what looks to be almost like small maws, like rolling and pulling the blood into the actual leather. And as the top of the scroll case more or less dissolves away, Sarah, you can see Union, staring into the alley, his back to you, there by the temple. Took you a while to find him, but Wasn't so hard when you narrow it down to, hey, the guy with, horns. No, excuse me, antlers. Yeah, that one.
You're looking for something.
Shit. Okay. Dean's gonna very quickly try to hide behind his back as he turns to look at Sarah.
Sleight of hand.
Hello there.
Doesn't even beat her passive. You don't catch what he's trying to hide, but he definitely is doing the churning, but that arm's not moving, and you catch a glimpse of him holding something as he kind of casual leans against the wall.
Just walking up closer.
Good morning, Sarah.
Got something you don't want me to see?
What would ever give you that impression?
The arm behind your back holding something that you're trying to keep me from seeing.
Well, you see, well, you see,
I don't see, actually.
you don't want to see this?
We're right outside of a temple. Are you really going to try and lie?
This is private.
Is it?
It is meant for my eyes only.
I see. You're not wrong. I probably don't. I just wanted to find you and thank you for helping myself and Kozark.
Ah,
You didn't have to do that, and you did.
Union sort of visibly relaxes his face, immediately brightening up, almost to a sort of quasi puppy dog pat on the head kind of. Someone's thanking him, doing a good job. Uh, well, of course, we
And
could
I
not.
want to shove Union against the wall.
Well,
But let me be clear about something. I don't trust you. I don't know what you're planning. I don't know if you're planning something, and I don't know if you're being honest. You're in a group that trusts you. You helped me. So I'm willing to give you a chance on this. I want to see if you're all talk or if you can be redeemed. So I'll be watching. Please don't disappoint me, Shaitan. Just let go and get ready to leave.
Out of character, has
No.
Union's eyes are gonna go wide. He's gonna reach out and grab Sarah by the shoulder. What did you just say?
Did you not hear me? Do I need to repeat myself?
Don't. How? He's looking around, very
Is the
sort of
blood
startled.
of the innocents blocking your hearing?
How do you know that name?
How about you think about it long and hard? Trying to pull away from the hand.
Union's not gonna let her go. Not yet.
Roll for grapple, please.
Is that strength?
For you, it'd be athletics.
Against mathletics?
Athletics or acrobatics.
Oh.
Not Ridger's athletics. But assuming you rolled from the right sheet, he holds you firm.
Let me
I'm-
go.
I will. I will. I am not.
We're outside of a temple, and I don't feel like cutting you down right now.
I am not that man. You have to listen.
Then show me.
I am trying.
Then it should be pretty easy to show me.
Her pained look is gonna cross over Union's face, and he'll just let her go.
I don't think people can change, but I'm willing to give you a chance. You don't seem like the same person.
I'm trying.
And with that, Sarah is going to leave.
Now, I will say, Sarah, you catch but the briefest glimpse of that scroll case as he lunged to grab you.
The leather, probably not actually leather scroll case.
It's the brief glimpse you get. You just see scroll case.
Okay.
But more importantly, you see the inky blackness that is pouring out of the uncapped top.
Oh,
Oh,
dial down the trust meter a little bit.
Mic on.
I mean,
You had,
fair.
you had a trust meter and everything, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so just one last glare, making sure he can see her green eyes. And then just head back to hang out with Kotek.
Would Kotork have told you where he went?
Think she was asleep when he left.
Yes, but this wouldn't be the first time you've been with each other for a while.
That's a good question.
Kotork?
I need know.
Excuse me?
I don't know.
No, I got half that sentence. Would Sarah know where you go to get your rest, so to speak?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then yeah, going to hang out with Kotek.
All right. We will then briefly pan before what should be our second to last pan of the evening to Tempest. I'm assuming you said you attempted to stay by the school, right? If I'm recalling correctly.
Yep.
Okay. A little after noon, one, you're famished, haven't eaten all day. You do see the three elves that had approached you earlier, stepping out, fully armored, back in their get-ups. As is your mentor, in the same armor. They have a
Tempest?
brief
Go ahead.
exchange before he makes his way over towards you.
To be fair, I didn't start that one.
Didn't finish it either.
You're not wrong.
I must check in back home.
What did they want?
It would seem there are those who provide tutelage to inferior students.
I'm not used to you sugarcoating things. You can just tell me.
For once, little Tempest, I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I say I do not know means I do not know. I am being called home in full regalia.
Are you gonna come back?
This is true home. And I have a miserable student who eventually will be worth a damn. Maybe.
I was about to say that didn't sound like you. You sure you're not someone else?
Without looking, the man there, how far away is he?
30 paces.
How healthy is he?
Healthier than me.
Who isn't right now?
Probably one of the orphans down in the orphanage.
I wouldn't take that wager.
I don't know. I hear there's a case of the flu going around.
It is quite the situation. But what I can say, Tempest, eventually, my student will be worth a damn.
Mic off.
For now, though, I am told that you lack the foresight to rest. And I am sure this is not something that sounds very much unlike me. I am aware that things have not been easy in your last doings abroad. But if I come back and you are still in this sorry shape, then it might be time for you to take up a new discipline. Knitting, perhaps.
Do I look like a knitter to you?
Do you really want me to answer that?
I'm half tempted, but no. You can keep that one to yourself.
Keep practicing. And rest. When I
Yes, sir.
return, there are trials to be had. Failure has always been met with severe disappointment.
Best to not disappoint you,
There's
as I always have.
a ferocity in his eyes at that statement. For once, no, this probably is like the time not to.
Simply just bow her head in respect towards.
Gives you the same commandive gesture that you're done for the day. go away.
I'll see you soon. She'll give another bow of her head and head off to actually listen to him this time and not stay by the school. She won't give the elves even a glance.
It's mutual.
Figured.
They're elves, guys. Come on now. Can't
Mic
be
on.
giving glances.
They're full-blown Blade Singer elves.
Hey, I hit one. That's what counts, okay? Little victories, damn it.
All right. So where do you go from here?
She'll go back to Arson, assuming he's still at the hotel.
Yes.
Inn.
Still pass the fuck out.
Yep.
There's a tray of food outside the door.
Mic off.
We're gonna take that in because he's gonna need to eat something before they have the next conversation they're about to have.
Mic on.
He's there, passed out on the bed.
Tempest is going to move over and place the tray of food on the stand next to the bed and highly debate dumping water on his head to wake him up. She's really going to debate that really seriously considering it. But instead, she's going to sit down at his side and run her hand through his hair softly, just whispering to him, Arson, you slept all day. It's time to get up and eat something at least.
Okay. I will wake up slowly.
Your
the
food's
Tempest.
cold.
I can fix that. I pressed to get warm again.
Arson would probably notice she has a fair amount of cuts on her, along with the bruises still healing from yesterday. And she looks like shit. Shittier than usual shit.
I was asleep for like 10 hours. What happened?
Don't worry about it. Eat first, then we'll talk. I'm gonna go down and grab something for myself, and I'll be back up. All right?
Okay. I will eat my food.
Tempest will go down and see if she can acquire some sort of food, because damn it, she's hungry.
Takes a little while, but casual fare for the comfortable climb that you have taken up. Eventually presents itself. Not prevents itself.
To say, damn, you're being mean.
Yep. Nope.
Somehow
No
the food prevents itself.
Yep. No food for you. We serve only 11:30 to 12 o'clock. It is 12:03. No food.
But I'm hungry.
Go deal with the orphans in the corners.
Oh, God.
Oh, how it comes around.
Shut up, orphans.
Jesus.
I'm
One of them
sorry.
waves a piece of bread at you and like, ha 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 ha. But yeah, like I said, you get your food eventually. It takes 20 minutes for them to heat something up.
Tell me it's not spicy.
I can tell you it's not spicy.
Is it spicy?
Oh,
Yay!
I would assume you want to order something spicy,
No,
and as you're the one paying for the food.
You never know what happens sometimes, but
Just,
after
just
she
feeling a little ballsy right now.
is tired, beat up, leave her be. But once she gets her food, she'll take it back up to their room and settle down and eat with Arson. About halfway through, she'll take in a deep breath and start to explain what happened at school today, what she was doing all night, and just the concern she holds for what may happen. She's worried that she's not going to have a mentor soon, and perhaps they'll prevent her from even being able to train as a blade singer anymore.
As far as I'm aware, you can still keep training on your own, even if it's
On
not
my
in
own.
this. And it's not like you to give up.
I didn't say I was going to give up.
Also, put a hand on her head. 4th level cure wounds.
Thank God.
That's right. You didn't come home with a note.
Yep. Oops, it's the 29, not the 26.
Yay!
For once, it didn't fail me. That just means you will have to be the best you can, which I know you will be on the day.
I always am. But in the meantime, I've been ordered to rest, and so
Yes.
I figured instead of us sitting in an inn where it's nice and all, but perhaps, well, not perhaps, I think it's about time that we went and said hi to your family. You know, I could meet your mom and dad,
They're dead.
sit in like a nice, comfortable house.
But, yeah, I suppose we could do that. By the way, but I'll get together with you on about getting all that set up.
Yeah, way to throw us both under the bus there, Tempest.
There's some stuff in here that I think I've given you.
The DM just nods.
Because my Fire Genasi characters can never have small families. Yeah, we can do that. I'll have to get cleaned up a little bit. Same with you.
Great. Are you going to deny that fact?
What? I didn't
No,
hear
did I
you.
not? No, I said I look great.
You always look great. But you also look like a woman who's stayed up all night and then got the crap kicked out of her.
Yeah, they were better blade singers than me. It's fine.
But you held your own, which is good.
Not in my mentor's eyes, but you know how he is.
Yes.
But it's good. I need someone to push me like that. I mean, he wouldn't train me if he saw nothing in me.
Exactly.
It'd be just a waste of his time, unless he was some sort of sociopath and just found that completely amusing.
I've met him. He does not seem like that type of man.
No, say,
For the most part. He wouldn't put you through all that if he didn't see anything in you.
Yeah.
Hey, seeing comedy is still seeing something.
Point taken.
Also, arson.
Yes.
You're not introducing me as your friend, by the way.
And what am I introducing you as?
Use that brain of yours and figure it out. And she's
I
going
want.
to lay down.
I want
and
you.
relax.
I want you to say it.
I'm injured. Leave me be.
I was dead 3 days ago.
Keyword was, I currently am injured.
I will lay back down with her.
Oh.
The
Don't pan over to the warehouse.
With the solo Ridra. I don't know if Scorgan's here.
I don't know. Scorgan?
Because he did say he would be AFK a bit ago.
Then chances are not. And I can catch him post for that regard. This is not a horrible fade to black moment. We'll round it off with
oh,
Oh, I don't get to know what my dark orders are.
well, you can thank Sarah for that.
you're welcome.
I know
Gosh.
next time,
Who
Ilhern,
is this
Ilhern.
mystery new adventure with you? Who knows?
Also, it's not like it's not something that couldn't be whispered to you or anything like that.
It'll come up.
Yeah.
What's the fun in that?
So I'm just sitting here, AFK, minding my own business. And normally, no big deal with Enderman. But fuck that